I think it's important, certainly when we're supporting home workers and remote working, to be able to have tools to understand how they're interacting with customers, but also how people are interacting with each other within the business as well. It's something that we actually use extensively within our organisation, call recording technology, to really understand customer engagement and experience and best practice. And we've worked with many customers, over in excess of 10 years, delivering call recording technology. And I think for me, it goes way beyond the contact centre environment. When you start to look at how people are engaging over the telephone and talking to suppliers and colleagues and customers, it really helps to create a better view around best practice, and the evaluation tools, again, a really good focal point to be able to come back together and provide that guidance and management accordingly. What I want to do just before we wrap up and break for demonstrations and lunch is to talk through really what our strategy and vision is, how we work with our partners, the sort of solutions that we're delivering to market, what we've developed ourselves and why, and really how we're helping to support this changing world that we're seeing with technology, with our service platforms, and indeed our own integration skills. So as an organisation, we've been in this market for a very long time now, so formed in 1984, and a lot of experience around delivering. It started off around delivering telephony solutions, but as we moved into the IP world, so we were certainly one of the first organisations to start delivering IP solutions to clients back in, I think it was 2001. We saw the need to really look at providing our customers with end-to-end solutions. So the role of the data network, the role of wireless access, the role of the mobility solutions, and certainly looking at how to join all these different technology components together, which is really where the integration skills and requirements came from. So we acquired a software business a number of years back now, so it's coming up for 12 years. And within there, it was really recognising the change in the marketplace that we've gone through. So the convergence of voice, data and video technologies onto a single network infrastructure, how we can help to really provide greater automation and productivity and tools to help to support the ways in which people are working within the organisation, and indeed beyond the physical constraints of the location as well. We've got some incredibly strong partnerships that we've established over time. So working with Avaya, we track all the way back to, I think, 1990, when we were working with a business called SDX Business Systems that were acquired by Avaya. So again, a lot of experience of working around the core telephony platforms. And what we've done over time is we've been recognised for our skill set of integrating technologies together. So we've heard about the importance of the network and managing application flows and bringing different devices together, and the control and the governance. And over our time, we've invested in bringing a lot of these technologies and skill sets into the organisation, so we can deliver what is an end-to-end managed service for customers. And we're at a point where there's a lot of changes in the ways in which people are deploying technology today. So we've heard Brad mentioned a couple of times today already. So the way in which infrastructure is changing, moving from customer premise equipment and sort of fixed wired locations, to actually moving all of this intelligence and control and technology into centralized platforms or into cloud-based environments. I'll pick up on really what we've done in that format and how we're working with our cloud platform to help support customers through this pretty big process of change that we're seeing in the marketplace at the moment. Yes, we've won a number of awards, so we've been recognised for our integration skills, for our ability to deliver end-to-end converged solutions, and indeed our ability to create bespoke applications for clients to really help to tailor a solution to exactly fit what people are after. We are technology innovators, and I'll certainly talk through some of the things that we're doing and have done, which in many cases have been ahead of the market. And I think the important thing with all of this is that we're here to work together with our customers in partnership. So a lot of the technology that you've heard about today, we've been deploying for many years, and we've got a lot of experience in deploying these types of solutions. And in fact, many of our customers we've worked with for 10, 15, 20 plus years, and we've taken them through these changes, right from analog telephony through digital, through IP, and into the virtualized world that we're hearing about. So looking at hosting applications within VMware and supporting a much more agile way of delivering technology for people today. So what do we do? We've got a whole range of technology and a whole range of partners that we work with, and really the most important thing that we do is we spend the time with our customers to understand where they're at today, where they want to get to, and the role that technology has to play to really enable business improvements, customer interaction improvements, looking at how we can improve the resilience and the continuity of technology supply and service. And over that time, we've built up what is a very strong skill set of people that overlay and support the technology. So there's a number of middleware components that we've created that I'll come on to that help to make it a lot easier to glue these technology environments together. But also it's the professional services and the structured approach that we take to evaluate the technology, to help work with customers, to create, in essence, a custom roadmap to help move forward into this new world that I'm going to talk through. So we talked about bring your own device, and as I said at the very front end of this, I think that this is really an extension to what we've been seeing over recent years with flexible working. And certainly there's a number of challenges that we look at, which are the challenges of managing the distributed workforce. So, how do you manage what you can't see, and the need for having tools in place to understand how people are operating. How do you manage the technology? How do you manage the deployment of the technology? How do you manage the performance of the applications across the network, both within a wireless environment, within a building, but also certainly what we're seeing today is how do we extend that to the home workers working across broadband connections, or how do we extend it across a distributed organisation working across a wide area network? So how do I control the flow of applications and understand what's happening? How do I right size my network? How do I ensure I've got the right plumbing to be able to control effective use of technology? And I'll touch on some of the components that we've put in place, certainly within our cloud services platform we extend to customers. And we've got to also now today consider the performance of the applications on the mobile devices as well. It's not just when people are connected to the office using a PC or a laptop, but we're having to look at how we really look at delivering effective use of applications to mobile devices and iPads. Security is important. I'll talk through the infrastructure. Certainly business continuity has grown in importance over the last few years, and what we're seeing, certainly sitting down and planning out with customers technology environments and roadmaps, is the need to consider resilience and availability of technology to support not just their own users' requirements and their own business requirements, but that of their customers as well. We're in an environment where there is an expectation for 24/7 support and coverage and contact, and it's that always-on environment that people are used to. And I think tools such as iPads have helped to really fuel that. The internet, that you expect the technology to be available, you expect it to work, and actually you expect it to be available irrespective of where you are. And of course that creates an overhead for how the whole environment's managed. So what's right for me? Well, clearly there's lots and lots of different technology. We've talked about a number of different things here already today, and there's a number of components that we need to consider, the role they have to play, the business benefits that they deliver, how we integrate them into the organisation, what the cultural change and adoption is likely to be. And when you look at all of those components, well, clearly it becomes very confusing, right? So we spend a lot of our time really working with customers to map out how people are working, where their challenges are, what technology they're currently using, and then really talk through and demonstrate which different components can work in customers' environments and what sort of benefits they'll deliver, because it really is truly confusing. I mean, I was with a client a few weeks ago, and the overriding comment was, we don't know what we don't know. It's just so much out there. How do we actually know which technologies we can deploy? There's so many different service providers and manufacturers and application providers, and you look at the application growth within Apple. What should I be using, and how is it going to help me? So that's the role that we have to play. And as part of it, what we do is we're looking at the return on investment and the business benefit and impact. And I think this is something that really can't be ignored, is the fact that we're in a climate where we need to clearly invest in technology to remain competitive. We need to invest in technology to support this new generation of workers that are coming through and the demands they've got, and to help to support what is a changing requirement from customers that we interact with. But technology is expensive, so what we're doing is we're looking at new technology models that we're delivering to market. We're looking at where cost savings can be made and how they can be really reinvested into technology investment, and I'll talk about some examples there as well. We then build implementation plans and strategies with customers. So we've got lots of examples where we sit down, we undertake workshops, and then together we'll go and build out what is a technology roadmap and a strategy that we then work with the business to get approval and actually work through to implement new technology, new solutions to deliver what is a clear and agreed outcomes. And again, I think that's really important. It's not a case of implementing the new technology because it's the latest shiny, flashy thing. It's about what's the impact going to be to the organisation, and how can I demonstrate that back in, and how can I measure it, how can I measure the success, and how can I continue to invest in technology to take the business forward. I think looking at, if anyone reads Computer Weekly, there's always the challenges around demonstrating business value through IT, and I think that's one of the challenges that IT professionals have today, is they're really being looked upon within an organisation to demonstrate business value, to enable business improvements and transformation, to take an organisation forward, as opposed to provide technology that just people tend to use to do the job. It's about what can be done to transform and take an organisation forward. There's a client that we work with, which is Family Mosaic Housing. So there's around about 2,500 employees today, 200 locations, and we've worked with them to build this plan out and this strategy out. And it was really interesting talking to the Group FD recently around his understanding of technology, and actually when people go and see him from other suppliers, they're not necessarily demonstrating how the technology can make an impact and take the business forward and where productivity can be improved, how the corporate objectives can be enabled. And when he's looking at that environment, it's very much a case of the IT team are coming to him for investment, and his response is, I can't understand the benefit to the business, I'm not going to be signing this off. So it's really important to be able to demonstrate with experience and references of where this technology has been implemented and for what benefits. And we recognise that that's not the easiest of things to do. So we work with customers to undertake technology evaluations and pilots, certainly using the technology, experiencing it, and making it real and accessible means that it's a lot easier to build your own return on investment and impact statements that you can take back into the business. What we do is, certainly from the very front end, is we work with a very involved approach. So it's a case of looking at designing solutions to meet business requirements and business need. We go through, and the whole process is actually technically signed off within the organisation, where it's a joint working between customers and our technical and commercial teams. And then we're following that process through with a Prince 2 project management approach. So we're very clear around what the short-term goals are for, in essence, what become sort of work programs. So where we work with a customer to map out what can be a 3 to 5 year strategy, if we're looking at technology change that's happening, what we're doing is we're creating individual work programs that we can go and implement, deliver business benefit, and more often than not deliver significant savings as well that can be used to help to fund these steps that we move through with customers. The bits that I want to really focus on is which technologies to use. Yes, we've got a lot of strong partners that we work with, but it's looking at the changes that are happening in the marketplace. So if we just pick out some of the key technology areas that have been changing, we look at proprietary devices and moving into bring your own device and SIP devices. So again, a lot of change where the central systems are managing the control and the applications, and actually we're not being restrictive around which end user devices people can use anymore. The change from audio conferencing, and that's been an area, as Richard was saying earlier on, which has been incredibly expensive for people to use, and a lot of benefits that people have had by using conferencing technology to bring people together. I certainly experienced that myself, that the best way of moving through a complex position is to actually talk to people. Well, I think today where we're at is we're starting to see with collaboration technologies and video becoming a lot easier to deploy. I think that'll be the next change in how people are working. We use video conferencing within our business, and we've delivered it for many customers as well. And it really helps to bring people together. It helps. We've delivered solutions where a proportion of the workforce are remote and very rarely come into the office. But what a great way of actually creating a more inclusive environment for people to work within, of having a simple desktop video solution so that they can see each other when they're talking to people. You then add on top of that the ability to start to share documents and work together within these collaborative spaces, as you can go and see next door, and it really does start to change the way in which people are working. And as I said, we've got a number of great examples of where we've delivered this for customers. I think the other thing is that we're moving from a world of bespoke integration, which inevitably was complex and expensive, over to more open standards technology. So a lot of these plug-in components have become a lot easier to get systems talking to each other. So the idea of getting a CRM application working with a phone system and looking at automation that's built into business process and customer engagement and communication process, is a hell of a lot easier today. As a business, we've built our own CTI middleware platform that works across in excess of 30 different phone system platforms and a whole range of software applications. In fact, we've got software companies that work with us that resell our technology to market. And it's very, very easy for us to be able to plug these components together. And this is all about, why do it? Well, we do it because we want to improve the productivity and the efficiency and the overall customer experience that we're delivering. Network acceleration through to application governance. And I think this is, again, it's a point that was picked up in one of the previous presentations, that as we're loading more and more applications onto the network, as we're opening up tools such as the iPad within the business, we're requiring more and more bandwidth to actually support the applications people are using today. As we start to introduce more and more video conferencing, more bandwidth hungry applications are going to be run across the network. And this isn't just a case of run across the network within my organization physical office, it's actually run across the network, across the organization as a whole. We're working with an organization at the moment where they've got over 700 sites. We've delivered some application governance technology where they can understand what applications run across their entire network. And it's a hard thing to try and understand, right? Is across the whole business, who's using what applications? The example that Richard gave of the 10 applications on his laptop that the IT team don't know about, right? Multiply that by many thousands of people, and these are applications that are taking that bandwidth from the business and the corporate resources. So what we're able to do is to provide customers with full visibility of all the application flows across the network. What we then can do is we can start to look at what are the business applications that need to run. So what are the ones that people need to use for their job? What are the recreational ones? And then we can start to dynamically allocate bandwidth and prioritize the application flows for our customers. Now, when you start to look at, I want to add video to the network, I want to add voice over IP to the network, I want to start looking at new applications I'm going to be rolling out to wireless devices. What do I actually need from my network? How do I predict and plan the investment and the upscaling that I may need to make? So this tool that we've put in place, as I said, we're now working with a customer with 700 locations where we're going to be using this technology to help them understand how they scale their wide area network to support the changes that they've got within their business and new applications they're adding. They recognise they need to invest in technology to take the business forward, but they don't know what they need from an infrastructure perspective. So our cloud-based application monitoring and governance technology helps people understand what they need, but then helps people manage it dynamically so that the right bandwidth is delivered to the business critical application at the right time. That's noisy. Someone trying to get out. It's the ghost, is it?
Big rat.
That's some heckling, that is. Yeah. So, and the important thing is that we can extend this into mobile devices as well. So we can use this type of technology to understand the application delivery and usage on mobile phones, on smartphones, and indeed on iPads. The worst thing that you can possibly have is core applications people need to use to support their working life, and actually they're going and running iPlayer in the background, and actually it's taking all the bandwidth up. So these are things that we can actually help give you the visibility and control over as well. There's been a big change from the physical location and servers into the virtualization technologies and data centers. We heard the mention of VMware platforms and providing the new technology that can be loaded into a virtualized environment, which makes deployment a lot quicker, easier, and indeed in a software environment, the technology more affordable as well. The change from, if you look at the telephony aspects as well, so the change from analog and digital telephone lines, the PSTN and ISDN lines, into SIP trunking. and are taught through what we're doing there, but delivering significant cost savings, and actually using that data network and that data stream for the voice traffic as well. One great example we had was Trailfinders Travel, where across their organisation, 1,400 employees, and they had pretty much 1,400 telephone lines, right? So 29 different locations, 1,400 telephone lines, costing them a huge amount of money, and an ISDN 30 line between 13 and 15 pounds per month. And they were doing that because, again, each individual location had their own technology silos, yeah? So they had a phone system, they had a call recording solution, they had some CT integration, they had telephone lines, and actually what we've done with those guys is we've reviewed what they were doing, we've brought everything back into a centralized core, and we've helped them to rationalize this telephone line infrastructure. We've helped them to make significant cost savings so they can then go and invest in delivering technology elsewhere into the business. So we've delivered in excess of £250,000 a year worth of savings by changing the telephone call interface. And actually what it's done beyond that is it's vastly improved the resilience. And I'll come on to the platforms that we're delivering and actually how we're building resilience into the fabric of what we're providing. And of course we can then start to bring the mobile world in. If we're looking at a single number strategy and using a SIP telephone number, then we can start looking at how we're routing our telephone calls over this data infrastructure, over a mobile infrastructure indeed as well, to what becomes a choice of devices. And I think the other notable thing just to pick up on is this element here, which is the change of networking infrastructure technology. So the change of MPLS, from point-to-point networks to MPLS to what is next generation networks. We hear about BT's 21CN. There's a lot of high bandwidth technology that's available today at a much more affordable price point. So we're delivering higher bandwidth, new technology and services over that network infrastructure, and still delivering up to 40% cost saving. So it's a pretty big headline saving there. And I think if we look at all those different technologies, then certainly what we're seeing is that the deployment methods are changing. People are looking at how they bring the what would it be, individual hardware and licensing models up into a core environment. The likes of an Aura type infrastructure and platform. So how do I bring all of this up into a core, and then how do I treat it as an overall enterprise-based solution? And it really starts to change the way in which we're deploying technology today. We can go and look at deploying individual applications as point solutions to groups to address tactical requirements, but everything is dealt with from a central core. So something that we saw this change happening. We've got lots of clouds, right? We've talked about the cloud. We've got several up there. So what we've built out is a cloud-based service platform we're delivering to customers across multiple data centers. Within there, we've got our own VMware platform that we're hosting applications for customers, and it really is a great range of technologies that we're providing. We're also then working with customers where either we're hosting the applications or we're helping our customers host the applications in their data center environments as well. So it becomes, in essence, a pick and mix of taking maybe hosted call recording, storage, SIP trunking, hosted security, internet access, CTI, collaboration technologies, and again working with our partners to bring all of this technology together, but start to change the deployment methods in which it's provided. So one of the big benefits of cloud was the ability to move to a cost per user per month and have a flexible model where you can scale up and scale down in line with the business requirements. Well, this is something that we've built out and we're providing to market. And it's really leveraging the sort of developments that people like Avaya and Computertel are making within their technology platforms. And the next change is really looking at what becomes a flexibility in the network access. And this is something else that needs to be considered, is that as we're bringing what becomes a distributed organisation together, we want to create the right fabric that we can go and manage, and we can start to look at the performance and the availability of those connections, right down to what becomes a private DSL connection, so high bandwidth and low cost. And it's a case of building out this end-to-end service platform, so we can incorporate new technology, whether it's video as a service, whether it's hosting applications within a VMware environment, or indeed whether it's centralizing our telephony and collaboration infrastructure to push out to the edge. So lots of change there, and for sure it's it's a big shift in where we are today to where we're in fact delivering and helping customers with today. And I think it really is the importance of sort of taking a step back and looking at all this different technology that's available, and importantly working out a plan that is going to fit your own business and indeed the pace that you want to move at as well. And that's why it's we take the time to build out these sort of roadmaps and these plans with customers. So maybe the next technology we want to go and introduce is addressing this business need over here. So we go and pull that pre-built template that we work together on to start to change the way in which we're using technology within the organisation. So as I said, we've built out this core service platform, and it's really been built upon a lot of experience that we've had over in fact 10 plus years of delivering these types of new technologies, and SIP trunking we hear about. It's one of those things that is quite on vogue at the moment that people are talking about, but we've been delivering that technology to market for over 8 years now, and helping our customers to use that as an infrastructure for cost saving, for resilience, but importantly linking platforms and technologies together as well. So I think if we're looking at flexible working as an overall theme and concept, of which bring your own device I think is a very important part of that, I think the role of Britannic that we have to play is one of a flexible partner, where we're working with our customers to understand actually how do we help people get the most out of technology, but how do we deliver service models that fit, finance options that fit, integration skills, where we can start to look at how we bring all these different technology platforms and components together. The people skills, because a lot of the technology that we talk about, to have all that skill in-house is clearly a very expensive thing to go through. And if we're looking at implementing projects at a time, what are you going to do? Are you going to go and build the skill set up? Are you going to bring a contractor in, or are you going to work with a partner that's got the skills within the organisation that we then go and deploy at the right time in the right way? And it is, to me, about the partnership approach, and I think that's the thing that comes through from our customers when they talk about their experience of working with us, is the partnership approach that we take, how we work with them, how we understand what they're trying to achieve, and then how we spend the time to get the technology right. There's lots of benefits. I'll put a number up there, but what we'll do is we'll provide the slides to you as well. But I think to me the important thing is we're here to help. We've got a lot of experience across a very wide range of technology. Lots of references of how people are using a lot of what you've heard about today for great effect, and clearly we welcome the opportunity to talk to you. So why Britannic? Lots of experience, 27, in fact coming up to 28 years in the marketplace. We have built, and this is indeed a process that we go through, we build teams around customers. So we've got a lot of great skill set within the business, and what we're doing is we're looking at where our customers are, what they need, and then we go and build a team together to actually get the right skill set and resource and approach to be able to get the most out of the technology that's available. We're open, we're flexible, we're very focused on what we're doing. We're independently owned, and I think that's again important for us as an organisation. You know, we're governed by our customers, not the stock market, and a lot of experience with Avaya, as I said. A lot of integration that we provide, bringing technologists together, and hopefully, certainly the experience of our clients has been that the approach that we take of really sitting down and working out where people are at and how they can move forward is we provide clarity and strategy out of what can be a very confusing and complex marketplace. So I'd like to thank you for your time. I think that brings us into the time we need to finish. I hope you found it very interesting today. There's lots of technology in areas that we've talked about. There's clearly a lot of change within the marketplace as well. But certainly where we're delivering this type of technology, we're seeing some really great improvements for how people are working. And as I said, thanks for coming. It's been a real pleasure having you here today, and we encourage you to have a look at some of the technology in the breakout room. And if you can stay for lunch, that would be great, and we'd love to talk to you further. Thank you very much.